What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, you have got, this has got to be a joke, right? This has to be a joke. I'm not really sure what to make of this. I guess we're going to find out. It's really him? Is this a joke? Is this really him, or is this an imposter? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. Apparently, making his debut on the channel tonight, we have the incomparable, one of the greatest thespians of our time. At least I think so. I think he's a phenomenal actor. We have Mr. Christopher Lee. Yes, indeed. How about that? Christopher Lee making his debut on the channel.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm.
Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Greg Garvin, and it was also the winner of the Patreon request prioritization poll, winning with 58% of the vote, moving it from number 1025 in the queue straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. They all want to see me react to this. I'm really suspicious as to why. We have the actor. I want you to keep that in mind. The actor, the thespian, Christopher Lee, doing a cover of the Frank Sinatra song, My Way. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. This can't be real. This is a joke, right? I mean, there's no way that this is a real thing.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Now, have I heard the song before? Full disclosure, yes, I have. I am very familiar with My Way from Frank Sinatra. I've played the song many times. I've heard the song used in movies, television, commercials, video games. I think I might have actually had this in a video game that I played. But in any case, I've heard it, I'm familiar with it, I've played it, I've sang this before. So yes, I know the song forward and backwards. Having said that, Christopher Lee, the actor, the thespian, the man that has played pretty much every role imaginable from Count Dracula to Count Dooku. I mean, he's literally played everything in between. We're talking about the thespian, Christopher Lee, one of the greatest actors of our modern time, and he's singing a song, first of all, singing him with his voice, singing a Frank Sinatra song. Okay, I'm making a prediction right now. This is either going to be absolutely terrible, and you guys are requesting this to watch me cringe and watch me just lose my mind, or this is going to be mind-blowingly amazing, and I'm gonna be like flabbergasted at just how good this is gonna sound. It's gonna be one of those two. I don't know which, but it's gonna be one of those two. I'm calling it right now. There's gonna be no middle ground on this. I'm either gonna be blown away or I'm gonna be beyond frustrated. I'm not sure which one it's gonna be. Either way, we're gonna have a good time with this, and we're gonna be thoroughly entertained. Oh, you're going to watch me lose my mind one way or another. Great. Okay, anyway, this was posted by Christopher Lee. Topic. You mean there's more than one song? There's more than one video of him singing? Oh, dear Lord. Let's do a deep dive on this. Depending on how this goes, we may want to do a deep dive. And the video has 97,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? I don't know if I am or not. Are you ready? Because I hope you are, because like I said, I'm not sure. But we're going to do it anyway, so let's get those fingers up, because here we go. Oh my God. This can't be real. This with a Dean guitar, a Dimebag design. This can't be real. This has got to be fake. It's got a Heavy Metal Christmas 2. This can't be real. It can't be. All right, here we go. My way. That's all it says here, but up here it says a lot. Christopher Lee, a Heavy Metal Christmas 2. And they got him sitting here with a Dean guitar. Jingle Hell and My Way. So there's two songs on this. This is basically a single. This can't be real. This has got to be a joke. It has to be, right? All right, let's get into this. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
What?
Now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain.
Wow.
Lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets.
Oh my God, I've heard enough. I don't need to hear anymore. I really don't. I already know where I'm going with the score on this. Okay. Okay, look, I'm laughing. Okay, I am laughing. And to some extent, I am finding this entertaining. It's funny. I will absolutely give it that. It is funny. It is humorous. Having said that, I question the validity of this recording. The vocals and what's happening within the instruments sound very disjointed. It almost sounds like they were recorded completely separate from each other. Like, I think what may have happened, they somehow got Christopher Lee, number one, to agree to do this. I don't know how much money he was offered to do this. I have no clue. And they had him come in and they had him sing his parts in a recording studio with like the original orchestration that Frank Sinatra had. And he sang the song with those orchestrations. They took his raw vocals. And obviously they produced them, they mixed them, ran through all the filters, pitch correction, all the stuff they needed to do. And then they took it and they overlaid his vocals over this instrumental track. That's how it sounds. It's just not the vocals and the instrumentation. There've been a couple of spots where they have not lined up. So I don't know. I don't know how legitimate this is. Do I believe it's Christopher Lee singing? I'll say this. It sounds like him. It very well could be. This cover, this could be very easily photoshopped. Very, very easily. So, I don't know how real this is. This may be just an utter and complete joke for all I know. It is entertaining. It's fun in theory, but it sounds fake. It does sound fake to me. It even if it is him singing, it still sounds disjointed. So I don't know, man. I don't know about this.
I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times.
See, the my and the especially the way really did not line up with the instrumentation. That just furthers my argument. I think they recorded his vocals separately and then they laid his vocals over an instrumental track and did their best to line it up, but they just couldn't make it line up exactly. The more I'm listening to this, the more I'm falling out of love with it. It's sounding more and more artificial with every passing second. I hate to say this, but let's get this over with and we'll get to the review.
I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew, but through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way.
Did on that one. That
Oh
well.
no, not me. I did it my way. For
Way-
what is a man?
The way was way off.
What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my
No. 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 This was. It started out amusing. It did. It was amusing at first for about the first 30 to 45 seconds. It was amusing. But after that, it gradually just got worse and worse and worse. Oh boy. Well, that just happened. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was. I'm gonna say what it says here in the title, but I have some questions. It says Christopher Lee doing a cover of the Frank Sinatra song "My Way." That's what it says. This was a request from Greg Garvin, and it was also the winner of the Patreon request prioritization poll, winning with 58% of the vote. That's right. 58% of the people who voted on the Patreon page voted for this. I'm not trying to put anybody down, but sometimes I question people and their decisions. Anyway, it won the poll, and thus it moved from number 1,025 in the queue straight up to number 1. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, your voice, your vote does matter. Okay, I have a score here, and I'm basing this score on a lot of assumption because I don't know. I don't have facts. There are a ton of questions that I have about this. And unfortunately, I'm not one of these reactors who goes out and researches everything ahead of time and finds out all the answers ahead of time and then sits there and pretends like he knew all along. No, I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be truthful. And I'm going to tell you all right now, I am very, very confused about this. I'm going to be basing this score, unfortunately, on a lot of assumptions, a lot of theories, and I know they're all unfounded, but unfortunately, that's what I kind of have to go on here. So, taking everything into consideration from what I heard, I do have a score, and it's okay. I'm gonna be straight up with you right now, folks. It's bad. Okay, it's bad, but it's not as bad as you might think. It's not as horrible as you might think. It's down the negatives, yes, but it's not that far down the negatives. You'll see what I mean. Here's the score. Brace yourselves. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that a 4.2. Yeah, 4.2. I don't like giving low scores, but number one, is it a low score? Yes, but it's not as low as you can possibly go. That's number one. Number two, I'm sorry, I don't take any joy in giving low scores, but when it's deserved, I'm going to give it, and this absolutely deserves that 4.2. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. First things first, a 4.2. What does that mean? Well, a 4.2, it's not as bad as you might think. It's not horrible. It's not terrible. It's not even bad. It's not so good. It's getting a not so good scale rating. It would also equate out to 2 out of 5 stars and a C- letter grade. Yeah, let that one sink in. A C-, still passing. So there you go, a 4.2, not so good scale rating, 2 out of 5 stars, and a C- letter grade. See, it's not as bad as a lot of people might think. Now, how did I come up with that score? Oh, so glad you asked. Like I said, I'm making a lot of assumptions here, and I don't have any facts, and I wonder if anybody actually has any facts. Number one, Christopher Lee. He's an actor. He is not a singer. I'm sorry. I mean, the vocals on this were not good. They sounded artificial, and I'm going to get to that in a second. The delivery was very flatlined. No real emotion behind it at all. And here's my theory on this. There's a number of possibilities. This is the possibility I think is what happened. Somehow they convinced Christopher Lee to do this. I don't know how. I don't know how much money was thrown at Christopher Lee to do this. Okay, maybe this was Christopher Lee's idea. Maybe this is his way of having some fun and, you know, having a little bit of levity. And he knows a producer and said, let's do this. I mean, that's possible. But okay, in either case, they took Christopher Lee, they put him in a recording booth, they put him in a vocal booth, and in his monitors, in his headphones, they had the original Frank Sinatra recording of My Way. And they said, sing along to this. And he did. And they captured that recording of just his vocals. And obviously they went through in Pro Tools and they scrubbed it and they pitch corrected it and they lined things up as best they could. And then they took that recording and they literally slapped it on top of this metal hard, I don't even know how to call it metal, this hard rock instrumental version of Frank Sinatra's My Way. There were a number of points, several points through this song where the vocal start or finish didn't quite line up with what was happening within the instrumentals. And some of the times, guys, we're not just talking like, you know, a half a beat off. You know, he's you know, getting into the swing. You know, he's trying to put a little swing feel on it. No, we're talking, there were times where it was 2 beats off. 2 full beats off. It didn't line up. It didn't sound congruent at all. It literally sounded like they took the vocal track and slapped it on top of this instrumental track and said, let's hope for the best. That's what it sounded like. Now, there are other possibilities. I talked earlier about the vocal sounding very robotic and artificial. I hate to say this, folks, AI has come a long way in the last 4 years. I don't know when this was recorded. This could have been recorded in the 80s for all I know. I mean, I have no idea. It sounds more modern than that. It sounds like, you know, 2000. The instrumentation sounds like the 2000s. I would say somewhere, like I would say 2015 onward, somewhere in there. So I'm giving it about a 10-year gap. So let's say 2014. It sounds like there. Now AI back then wasn't even really a thing, but I mean, if this was released like a year ago or 2 years ago, AI is a thing. Maybe these are AI generated vocals. It's very possible. They sounded robotic. They sounded artificial. They sounded fake. There was no emotion in the vocals whatsoever. None. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying this. I don't know if, I mean, okay. Was it here? Here's the thing. The one thing that's kind of throwing me for a loop is this was released on Christopher Lee Topic channel, which to me would say that it really is him. But knowing the kind of actor he is, now granted, there's a big difference between acting and singing. There's a huge difference. There are actors who, you know, think they can sing and they honestly cannot sing their way out of a paper bag. Flip side, you have singers who think they can act and they can't act their way out of a paper bag. There's a reason there are singers and there are actors. Now, every once in a while, you will have, in a blue moon, you will have that individual who's able to do it all. Hey, good for them. Go on Broadway. That's where you belong. Seriously. If you're able to do both, capitalize and go on Broadway. I know Christopher Lee has a Broadway background. I know he does. I've never heard him sing. And like I said, it's on the Christopher Lee Topic, so there's a really good chance that this is him singing. Okay, it really is him, but it's just not lining up, man. It just doesn't. It didn't fit with itself. The instrumentation, it sounded very generic. It almost sounded like Pro Tools. It didn't even sound like real instruments. It sounded like that was all created within Pro Tools. Folks, you'd be amazed how far Pro Tools has come in just in the last 5 years, the improvements that have been made, especially during COVID when everybody had nothing else to do but sit in their homes and work. And the developers of Pro Tools really brought out some amazing patches and really tweaked up Pro Tools to the point where and AI is coming into place with it now, to the fact where it's almost self-automated. It's crazy. But the track, the actual musical track, it didn't sound like real musicians. It sounded fake. It sounded very digital. So this whole thing just, it doesn't really line up. There's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of things that personally I think need validation to verify that, number one, is that really Christopher Lee? Number two, did he record his vocals separately, and then they laid it on top of this track? Number three, if for some reason they did line them up together, they recorded these guys together, it's not. And number four, is this really a Pro Tools track, or are these really instrumental musicians? Are they real people playing real instruments? I don't think so, but maybe they are. And they had Christopher Lee in studio and they were working together. Then why in the hell doesn't the song line up? It's there's so many question marks. And I question the validity of this project as a whole. I know we saw an album cover, but folks, do you have any idea how easy it is in Photoshop to fake a picture like that? I mean, it's not hard. I mean, I hate to say it, but it really isn't. People that know, Photoshop really well, you can vouch. You can go in the comments and say, I could make that in 5 minutes. You probably could. All you need is the artwork. You need a picture of Christopher Lee's face. Doesn't even have to be his real hands. Just get hands of somebody, holding a guitar. Doesn't even have to be that Dean guitar. It could be any guitar. It could be a bass. It could be a trombone. All you gotta do is edit it out and put in the Dean guitar and have him sitting down against a green backdrop with his face, seriously, opacity filtered. But if you know how to use Photoshop really well, you could probably make that exact same backdrop in 5, maybe 10 minutes. Is that the real backdrop? Is that a real album cover? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I'm not sure. But I didn't feel this, man. I really didn't. And unfortunately, I said at the beginning, this is either going to be amazing or this is going to be disappointing. And I hate to say it, but it's disappointing. I didn't dig this. So that's why I'm coming up with a 4.2. I was tempted to go lower, but before I go lower, I gotta have facts. I mean, I really do. And before I go higher, I gotta have facts. Like I said, I based this score on a lot of speculation. So anyway, 4.2. I really didn't dig this, and I don't think I'd ever want to hear anything from this ever again, if I'm being honest. So I think we're gonna have a hard pass on a deep dive into the Christopher Lee topic channel. I think we're gonna pass. But anyway, 4.2. That's the score I feel this deserves. I don't feel great about it, but that's where we are, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 4.2, which is a not so good scale rating, 2 out of 5 stars, and a C- letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.